All right, welcome folks to Revolutionize Your Marketing. And I have a special guest here today, and um, let's welcome Wesley Simpson. How you doing, Wesley?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. So let's let people know again who you are, where you're from, and how you get to do what you're doing.
So, my name is Wes Simpson. I'm in Canada, actually, Calgary, Alberta. I'm a financial or money coach, and I got where I am. It's a kind of a unique journey. I spent about, I'm going to say 40, I've been in automotive off and on for about 40 some odd years, worked every aspect of it. Been in service, body shop, parts, a bit of accounting. I did sales management, but I'd say probably most of that time was in the finance department. So if you're not familiar with it, you once you buy the car, they would turn you over to the finance department to arrange for delivery, and then they would offer you other products. I was doing that at a time when I was a bit of a unicorn, I guess. I spent probably a great deal of time making sure the customer could afford the car. I ended up talking easily 15%, almost 20% of the people out of buying a car. Which was really quite unique back then. Um, uh, when the automotive stores were independently owned, the owners understood what I was doing. They understood the long-term benefit and supported it. Because we would get more business because of referrals, because the customers got to trust us. They knew we weren't there to just to make a sale. We wanted a lifetime client. But as the stores became more dealer groups, um, my philosophies and my how I worked wasn't in alignment with where they wanted to go. So I ended up being phased out. About 10 years ago, I went into credit coaching. So I thought, let's help fix some people's the credit problems. And I hired a mentor coach at the time. And they kind of challenged me, which is what coaches do, and said, if you truly want to fix the credit problem, you need to swim upstream. So I dug into that and did some research and found a group of coaches called Coach Connections and joined them and became a financial wellness coach. I've been with them about 4 years now. It's a mastermind group of people, and the support and programs and the training they do is top notch.
I've heard of that group. Um, Coach Corner. Um, so what type of financing is it that you just
So we don't give we don't give financial advice. We don't sell insurances. We don't sell any products. What we do is we help people uncover why they spend the way they spend and help them devise, we call it refocus, gain control, and set a plan. So we help them understand where their money's going, understand why it's going the way it's going, and help them devise a plan so they can control that. Most people are really not taught financial literacy, right? And because of that, they're subject to a lot of the ads that we're exposed to. And it'd blow your mind if you sat down and analyzed how many ads we're exposed to on any given day, helping us part with our money. And when you don't have control over it, and you're kind of, I'm going to say, I don't want to say brainwashed, but if you hear enough ads telling you if you get this,
yeah
you'll be happy, eventually it's easy to part with your money, right? And we all get caught
yeah
up trying to keep up with the Jones, or if we have this, we're going to be happy. If we get this, we're going to be happy. What we try and do is we try to help people dig into what their core beliefs are, why they want what they want, and what their true where they want to be, not just today, but 5 years, 10 years, and see themselves. Is it they want to eventually be able to retire? Do they want their kids to be able, do they want to pay for their kids to go to college? Do they want to buy a home? Maybe it's simply wanting to find a way to not have the financial stress of debt and eventually pay cash for a vacation or a car one day. So we help them understand what they want, where they want to go, and then we work with them to put a plan together to achieve that.
mm, okay
So we don't sell
yeah.
products, we sell a brighter future.
So the way to get there, yeah,
Right. So it's
yeah,
it's it's not our money. If you tell us you want to spend it blank, that cool. Is that as long as it's in alignment with what you truly want to do, right? If it's
Yeah,
not something that's in alignment with what you tell us you want to do, then we're going to push back and say, "Are you sure that's what you really want?"
yeah. And that's why I guess some states are now starting to incorporate some financial training to students in high school. But that's something that they need to do is start in high school and teach kids when they get out how to handle money,
It makes
how to
sense, right?
plan.
I mean,
Yeah,
like you can only spend a dollar once. It's where are you going to spend it? Is it going to be instant gratification and debt, or is it with a long-term vision? It's up to the individual, but most people don't want the debt. They
yeah,
want the freedom. Most people get stressed out. Here's another thing that's quite interesting. They say most divorces are caused by money.
yeah,
I push back. I would say most divorces are caused because of miscommunication and not understanding each other. They're not on the same page. Money is just a symptom.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah. Like my wife likes saving the money. Me, I like spending it.
We all have a different blueprint and
But
we're all brought
yeah,
up differently, right? Some
yeah,
people are brought up that, money is the root of all evil, so we have to get rid of it. And other people are brought up that money is security and they tend to hang on to it. And if you don't understand your partner and why they have that belief and do that, conflict can really flare up quick.
yeah, yeah. It's true. We kind of like keep each other in line. I convince her, saying, "Yeah, well, we need to spend it for this." And she says, "Well, no, we don't need to spend it for that. We need to save it for this." So it's kind of like we kind of work together on that aspect, I think,
What a
kind
novel,
of. It
what a
depends
novel concept.
if you talk to her, she'll give you a different layout, but yeah.
But if you understand each other's position, you can allow for certain things to for expenses.
Yeah,
Some people find that, the status is very important for maybe they came from a poor background and the status means acceptance. That's why they need the nice fancy car. For other people, they could really care about the car because they like the security of having money in the bank.
yeah,
It's understanding each other and then build from there.
yeah. It's like right now, my wife is flipping out because we have a rental car because somebody hit her other car and the insurance company totaled it. So we're waiting to get the other car that we had fixed to get that on the road. And it's like $466 a week for this car rental. We've had it for like 5 weeks now. It's crazy.
Whoa. That's
And
that's yeah.
the insurance company's only paying it up until the day they decided that the other car was totaled.
Yep.
Everything after that is on us. It's
Yep.
crazy. And
Unexpected expense.
it's like another $700-800 to get the old car fixed and able to be driven. There's no winning.
No, it's a matter of
Sometimes you
how
just
much
can't
time
win.
is it going to take to minimize the one? You know, and life's
Yeah,
life's full of those neat little curveballs.
yeah, it is. It is. And then my youngest one's always calling saying, um, "Hey Ma, you love me, right?" We know exactly what she's looking for. Money.
Yeah, 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 I hear you. One of the things that we try as coaches to encourage, again, it's your money, is we
Yeah,
encourage the building of buffers. Some call it emergency funds, some call it sinking funds. Some of us refer to it as buffers, where you build in
yeah,
case life throws you those curveballs, it doesn't totally stress you out.
yeah, yeah. We did have that at one time, but we also own rental property and we learned a big lesson. You don't rent to family and friends.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that take advantage of you. don't
Which,
pay the rent.
which is sad, because you want to support family and friends, but if they're the first ones
Yeah,
to it's kind of an odd situation when you think about it. You think you'd go the extra mile
yeah,
to protect family and friends, but that's just my mentality.
yeah, yeah. You would think that's how it would be, but no. Around the end of the year, they're more interested in spending hundreds of dollars for gifts for their kids, and the heck with having a roof over your head.
Yeah, that makes no sense. But
Don't figure,
again,
but
but again, why? Where does that blueprint come from? What?
yeah, yeah,
I'd be curious to
that's
dig into that.
that's the lack of not being trained starting in high school.
And when none of us really were. I mean, even when I
Yeah,
going back, I've four kids gone through, right? And none of them were really taught a whole lot, even going back to when I was in high school. I mean, the lowest, if you were not the sharpest crayon in the box for math, they taught you how to balance a checkbook. But yet the upper
yeah,
math classes in high school never even taught that. It was just a unique situation. So
yeah,
that's the nature of money.
yeah. And it's like now some of the schools around here, banks have opened up branches in the school, but they don't teach financing
What's the purpose of the branch in,
for the kids to put money in, supposedly to save, but
but are they
and
teaching them why?
and they have some students working in the bank
Okay,
as
that's cool.
tellers. So okay, you teach them to work in the bank, handling somebody else's money, but there's no classes that teach them how to handle their own money. Something's missing in the in the content there.
Something is missing, is right. Teaching kids financial literacy, teaching them why they spend what they spend, and really it should be a core program for every student, and not just every student.
Yeah,
People that come to our countries, financial literacy
yeah,
should be part of that
yeah,
enrollment so that they understand, right?
yeah,
Um, to me, that's one of those common sense things, but it's not common, and that's a concern,
yeah,
right? But
yeah,
the more we can equip people with the tools, then theoretically we can reduce divorces, bankruptcies, delinquencies
yeah,
on all sorts of credit, right? We
yeah,
can reduce the stress level in so many people's lives. A lot of people don't understand how people change jobs due to stress of finance. They may have a great work culture, but if they're
yeah,
stressed financially because they have no control over their spending, they're going to leave to go down the block for an extra $1 or $2 an hour, which
yeah,
seems like maybe it could be a lot, but after taxes and stuff, it's not a whole lot, but that's the mentality. But if we could change that so that people do have control over their spending, they understand where they're going and why, and they have a good work culture, then you increase that work culture and it grows. So you get good companies that become great because the staff stay and they serve better. It kind of has a ripple effect in all aspects of your life.
yeah. Like my daughter's got a friend. Her and her sister, not even a year ago, moved out of their parents' house and got their own apartment. Well, the oldest one isn't too, should I say, wise on for money aspects, but the
Okay.
other one is fantastic.
Okay.
She's got money saved like crazy,
Nice.
and she actually, I think, has enough cash to put it down, down payment on a house.
Nice.
Not that they're looking at that,
Yeah.
but it's just She's got the money sense in her older sister doesn't.
And that's funny you mention that because you have people grow up in the same household, they'll hear things differently, they'll have
Yeah,
a different blueprint. Like even growing up, right? I spent, my sister hoarded, however you want to call the word. She saved the money, and
yeah,
it was true currency. It flew through my fingers, right?
yeah,
Um, and if you don't understand, it took a long time for me to understand why. But it's fascinating. In the same house, raised the same way. It's no different than you can have,
yeah,
multiple kids grow up in the same house, and one could say they had a great childhood, and one could say they had a poor childhood.
yeah,
You know, it's fabulous how that that dynamic is there, and I find it curious, but that's
yeah. I mean, it's like my two brothers. Um, one went to trade school. He ended up working, not construction, but making windows and working in a lumber yard. Now he's living up in Maine. He was living in a trailer actually for a while. Um, my other brother, he went to college, 8 years of college. And I got hired out of college as an assistant researcher for Uni Carbide down in Texas. Now he's living in among the golf courses in Carolina, retired. My other brother, the oldest one, he's still working up in Maine. They both brought up in the same house,
yep,
same teachings.
but different.
And me, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, but they heard different things in the house.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
interpreted things differently, so therefore they have a different blueprint,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
that's the fascinating part I find about human nature, and when I'm working with clients is uncovering that. That to me is like amazing, you know.
yeah.
You
And,
it
and
Go
then
ahead.
my brother down in the Carolinas, he's got a son and a daughter. The son went to college. He's a surgeon who's married to a doctor. His daughter was one of the Rockettes.
Seriously.
Yep.
Nice.
So again, they're following both of them basically following the father's
Right.
ways. And I tell you, the one that was a Rockette, that when she got married, that was a once in a lifetime wedding. That's a wedding I will probably never ever experience again.
I would guess.
They had the guests down in that she was living down in Manhattan at the time, right across from Macy's, of all places. And she married into a family that seems like they were well off too. And for the guests that came in, they had three hotels around the area that there was that we were staying at, and they're all at golf course with hotels. And um, so they had a Greyhound bus go around to pick the guests up at the three hotels, and we're pulling up to the cathedral where the ceremony was. I'm saying, why did they pay for a Greyhound bus? It's like maybe half full. Found out why after the ceremony. All the Rockettes that went to the wedding came on a bus to go to the reception with us. It was full bus. So yeah, that was an experience and a half. The Rockettes were handing out Coronas,
Wow.
and so yeah, they pulled up to one of the hotels where the reception was. We go in to have a free cocktail hour with open bar.
Okay.
Then they had the cocktail hour which was in a different hall that was the hall was filled with all kinds of hors d'oeuvres. Some of them were being made fresh when people wanted them. Um, then after that hour, we went into the main reception hall with a six-course meal. Um, and then there was an after party back at where the first cocktail hour was. I can only imagine the bill on that thing.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been small.
But and then the next morning, everybody gathered for breakfast at the hotel where we were staying,
Okay.
which was on them too. But the funny thing is, my son, one of the twins, I don't know, I think he was maybe 14 at the time, maybe 12. Me and you would have wished we were him at that reception. He was dancing with eight of the Rockettes at the same time. Luck, lucky kid. But yeah, so I mean, again, that was they had planned for this for
Yep.
a few years,
Right.
and I don't know how much my brother kicked in or how much his parents kicked in, but I'm sure the total bill was a hefty amount for that.
I would imagine. But if you're planning ahead for something and you're
Yeah,
putting funds away for that,
yep,
then it
exactly.
doesn't have it's not as impactful on you. It
Yeah,
allows you to be present in the moment. You're not stressed about the money when you do that.
yeah,
You get to
exactly.
embrace the time. And people do that with vacations, with celebrations, and mo people tend that are dedicated to putting away the buffers or the vape funds or whatever you want to call them. They
Yeah,
tend to be way less stressed and they enjoy the moment so much more.
yeah. It's like me and my wife, this is our 39th year that we've been together.
Congratulations.
And back then, this is how kind of illiterate we were with money. We were saving up for the wedding. And we went to the hotel and we had the reception at Holiday Inn. So we went there and the lady that was booking all the events had just left. They didn't have a replacement yet. So the hotel manager took care of us. We ended up with a 7 hour reception for the price of a four because he didn't know what he was doing. Okay.
It's a
So then
win.
as time went on, right afterwards, they'd hired another girl and we went in for the final payment with her. She's sitting down and she was kind of young and kind of new to the whole thing. We handed her cash. She looks at it and goes, what am I supposed to do with this? Most people pay by check. She didn't know what to do with the cash. But we ended up with a 7 hour reception for the price of four.
You did awesome.
Yeah. So we made out on the deal, but it was just funny. We handed her the cash and she looks at it and goes, what am I supposed to do with this?
And guess what? If you go to pay cash for anything right now, what do they say?
Yeah, what is this? What do I do with
Right?
this?
Most people pay by credit card.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't even have a credit card back then.
No,
I don't even think we had a checking account.
but we had a checking account, but credit card, no, because I made a bunch of mistakes.
Yeah,
And yeah, I had really bad credit. And I had to get a co-signer for a loan for us for our wedding. And we're not quite as long as you. We're only 37 years this year, but
yeah,
um, it it's funny how those events help lay the groundwork for you to as you continue to grow and learn.
yeah, yeah. It's just little things like that along the way that
Yep.
brought us to where we are now.
And everybody says, well, so if you could go back in time, would you change anything? And I go, no, because those events led me to who I am today.
Yeah. Just like one of the things that I use. Mistake is not a mistake. It's a learning event.
It's an opportunity. I love that. Yeah.
And yeah, we've had a few along the way. One of the first house that we bought, actually, we lived in an apartment for the first year that we were together, and then we bought a house. But what we didn't know at the time was that was when the banks were overqualifying people for mortgages.
Oh, I remember. Yes.
We lost the first house to the bank, but what surprised a lot of people, we turned around and bought a two-family at the same time. One house got foreclosed on, and we turned around and bought a two-family.
Perfect.
We had an attorney whose wife was from Thailand. And at that time, back then, she's not doing it now. She gave us a balloon loan for the down payment. And we had a friend who was one of the higher ups in one of the local banks. She wrote us a 3-page letter to give to the funding company, to give to the mortgage company about our finance. But between the two of them, the mortgage company couldn't say no at the time. Now we have 4 rental properties, plus a house that we live in now. When we bought it was $500,000. Now it's about $750,000.
You've done well.
It's all these little lessons along the way that taught us,
And
like
that's
the
what they
big
are,
lesson,
lessons.
not like the big lesson. Don't rent to family and friends.
That's a good one.
You would think after the first time you learn, but no, my wife didn't.
Well, I see, I like to think the best of all people, and I like to support those that are closest to me. But yeah, you tend to find that those that are the closest to you don't either A, appreciate it, or B, do sometimes take advantage of it. But
Yeah,
all that, we can't let that kind of quash the good that we want to do.
right.
You know, many people will take advantage of you, but you can't let that kind of dim your light, I guess, if for lack of a better phrase. We're all put here for a purpose and a reason, and if the goodness in you is you're going to help everybody, well, then that includes friends and family. Maybe you just put a few extra
Yeah.
precautions in place, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you want to help out family especially, but not on rental properties.
no, well, and the funny thing is I've been doing this financial coaching for 4 or 5 years now, right? And I have yet to have any of my family reach out to me for support or for assistance. And they they need it, right? Um,
Yeah,
I've got a sister that makes, great money and has zero to show for it. If it wasn't for the fact she has a pension, she'd be really in big trouble. Um, just it's fascinating how the people that are closest to you don't do that. So,
yeah, they'd rather take advantage of you than even
so
attempt to help you out. They want you to help them.
right. So, but yeah, it's what it is.
But yeah, it's like my wife does daycare during the daytime, and one of her nieces, her kids in the daycare. But part of the agreement for putting the kids in the daycare was that she gets some of the money that my wife gets from the state for the kids because she figures if she didn't put them in the daycare, my wife wouldn't have the money coming in from the state for them. So for her putting the kids in, my wife's kind of like giving her a small piece of it.
Okay, that's a different way of looking at it.
And yeah, so it is what it is. I mean, she's got 4 kids. So
Well, does it bring her joy?
it does.
As long as it brings
Does.
her joy, then that's the important
So,
part,
yeah,
right? I
yeah.
often ask
I
people, they
mean,
say, they get a lot of stress in the job. I go, let me ask you a question. If you didn't need the money, would you do your job for free?
yeah. And I mean, it's like it's her niece, but we helped raise her.
Yeah,
So she kind of like considers us her parents. So her
yeah,
kids are like our grandkids.
nice.
So
But it's odd that they would want a kickback, but okay.
yeah. I mean, she used to help her with the daycare and everything too. She used to come work for her in the daycare. So
Okay,
that was fine. But this is kind of like hmm, continuing that on in a way because, well, actually now this niece is actually the one that's dealing with our tenants that don't want to pay. She's kind of like a, um, how's the word I'm looking for? Um, management company.
okay,
She's kind of like playing the role of the management company. So, okay, this could
right,
actually be considered pay for that too.
okay. Now, it's interesting. Why does she do that? Is it she needs the money? Does she control her money, or is it she's just
They're actually her and her boyfriend, 4 kids, another friend of theirs, and my son are all living in the house I grew up in.
okay? Cool.
So, and my son just during COVID went through the entire house, remodeled it all and everything. Um, so yeah, they're keeping up with the old house. It's going to end up being
Nice.
my son's eventually, anyways.
Well, that's kind of cool. Like, some of the heritage coming down from when you grew up.
Yeah,
That would be really cool.
yeah. And her sister is got epilepsy, so she couldn't afford a mortgage on a house.
Yep.
So one of the houses that we own, her and her boyfriend pay all the bills on the house. It's
Okay.
just under us on paperwork.
Okay.
So they pay the mortgage, the insurance. He redid the kitchen. It's probably the best kitchen on the street now. But yeah.
Nice.
So I mean things, but those are people that we don't have a problem paying the rent.
Right. But yet still family or
Yeah,
friends.
yeah. But
So
that's working
interesting,
out. It's the
right?
other family members in the other 2 buildings that mess things up.
And again, it's funny how you could have people grow up in the same household
Yeah,
and how they react to people will be completely different.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I find that, and I talk to a lot of my clients, they've got children. Some of them may be estranged, some of them not, but same atmosphere, same grow up opportunities, completely different attitudes.
yeah,
Whether that's life, whether that's money, whether that's whatever. I find that
yeah,
just amazing. To watch and understand it, is fascinating.
yeah. And it's amazing how many families are like that too.
It's I would say the vast majority,
Yeah, yeah.
and it can
A lot
be
of
from,
brought
like
up
I
the
said,
same way, and yet go. They have their own avenues that they follow.
right? and it's different money, upbringing, uh, s- things they enjoy. Could be sports, politics, could be anything. Complete opposites,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And my brother down in the Carolinas retired now. When he worked for Union Carbide as as an assistant researcher and things, he had when my father was ill, he told me if you ever need to get a hold of me, just call my office. One of my five secretaries will know how to get a hold of me.
Five secretaries.
Five secretaries, don't forget. But yeah, the company's moved him three times at the company's expense. Flew
So
him
he
and his
is,
wife and his kids to different areas where they were transferring him to, and paid for a moving truck to move all of his stuff.
so he's highly valuable, highly valued. My apologies. So he,
Highly valued. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's incredible.
And he moved him. His last move was in Connecticut at the main office for Dow, because Dow took over Union Carbide. I
Yeah.
think is that how it went? Yeah, Dow took over Union Carbide, or the other way around, whichever way it was. His final move was into Connecticut. He went from Texas to Michigan, and they moved him from Michigan to Connecticut. And when he was in Connecticut, that's when he retired. And he also got tired of taking overseas trips for business. He started pushing them off to the people down below. He got tired of the overseas trips. How can you get tired of going overseas
I'm
on the
thinking, yeah,
company expense?
Rome, Greece, uh, London. Huh.
And it was
Yeah.
all at the company's expense.
Those, I
Wow.
love exploring those areas.
I mean, okay, to each their own.
Yeah.
Me, I would love to travel like that.
Oh,
Unfortunately, my wife doesn't fly.
okay. That makes it challenging.
Hmm,
That makes it challenging. My dad, he doesn't travel a lot. His wife, she doesn't like to travel much. She's
yeah,
not a big fan of the flying. We've traveled, my wife and I, our whole lives, with our kids. We wanted to give them the experiences of different cultures, different foods, different experiences to help expand their minds, thoughts,
yeah,
beliefs, whatever you want to call it.
yeah. I mean, a local company I worked for up here, a home center, they used to have once a year, once a year they used to put on like I want to say like a home show, but it was for the companies that we dealt with, and for us to meet some of the reps that we never saw and things like that. New new items that were coming out and things. And they used to have to fly us out a lot of times to
Okay.
go to the locations. And me, I love to fly. I'd be sitting by the window, looking out, flying over the clouds, just thinking how nice it would be just to go out there and lay down on top of them. They look so comfortable. Of course, you don't lay on the clouds, you end up falling
No,
through them.
no. When I was with Scouts Canada, I was a volunteer with Scouts Canada, and we took kids on some trips, right? We had one time I took a group of Vince and Scouts. We went to Finland for a jamboree, and some of these kids had never flown before, and some of them were quite
Wow.
nervous. And we used to say, "Don't think about the flight. Think about the adventure that awaits you." And they would start to think about what was about to become, things they were going to do once they landed. And it took the fear away from most of them.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's like one of those business trips I remember we had this guy, Frank, that worked with an older guy. He was afraid of heights. He used to parachute out of planes in the military. And one of the times he parachuted out, he landed in a pit of snakes. And he didn't climb out, he jumped out. I
no
don't know.
kidding.
Doesn't know how he did it, but he jumped out. Um, but he hated flying, but he had no choice. He had to fly. Would not take a window seat on the
Okay.
flight down. And of course, coming back, we had to kill time at the airport. How do you kill? I think it was an hour and a half at an airport when it's a bunch of guys.
You go for a
You
beer.
go to the bar.
Yep.
Well, he was feeling no pain, shall we say, when we boarded the plane. He goes, "Oh, give me the window seat." I said, "Frank, you sure you want the window seat? You don't like heights." "Yeah, give me the window seat." "Okay, have it your way, Frank." I let him in. I sat in the aisle, and he's looking out the window. Okay, this is now we know how to get Frank to fly. But the funny thing is, so after a little bit of the flight, he started getting his senses back, shall we say. We're flying into Boston. Now, Boston, Logan Airport is at the edge of the ocean, on the edge
Hmm.
of the bay. So planes flying in, he tapped him in the shoulder. He goes, "Hey, John, the water's getting close." Couple minutes, taps, "John, the water's getting closer." And he's, "John, the freaking water's getting closer." All of a sudden, there's the cement wall in the runway.
Yep.
I said, "Okay, we're safe, Frank. We're on land."
Yep. Yep. We had that
But
with some flights in Greece, and we've had that with other flights on some of the islands, the Caribbean, stuff like that, where
yeah,
you're going, okay.
but you take a guy that's afraid of heights and you're coming in close to water.
Yep.
Yeah, that was an experience, I'll tell you.
That'll get his attention. That'll get his attention.
I think about it in my habits. But yeah, he was a character. But again, planning for things like that, it all comes with knowing how to handle money.
Being
If you
intentional with it.
don't, if you don't know how to handle it the right way, you're not going to be able to enjoy it.
No, no, you'll either be putting it on a credit card continuously and that debt will keep rising, and then you're going to be stressed out about that, or you'll never ever achieve that. I got a story to share with you. So I had a dream of going to Greece. I've wanted to go to Greece since I was 18. I got a friend of mine, his family was Greek, loved the food they would cook. I got to visit this place. And then there was a silly movie that came out a number of years ago with a whole bunch of ABBA music in it. And I became infatuated with this island. And I kept talking about tech, talking about it. My wife finally said, either shut up and come up with a plan or come up with a plan. So at the time, I was not in the franchises anymore. And I started working from home, but there's nobody around, it gets lonely. So I used to go to a coffee shop and I'd have a coffee and a bagel every day. And I would work from there, right? So she said, come up with a plan or don't talk about it again. So I started looking at our finances and I went, if I changed this, we could do that. So I said, what's a bigger priority, working in the coffee shop or going on this trip? And I decided the trip was the biggest priority. So I started working from home again. We took that money that I was spending every day in the coffee shop.
Mhm.
It wasn't a ton. It was like 5, 6, 7 bucks. And we put
Mhm.
that into a special fund, a sinking fund, whatever you want to call it, a buffer fund. And we started putting the money away. It took us 5 years, but when I turned 60, we were on that beach that they filmed that movie on.
Mhm.
And we weren't stressed. We had more than enough money in the sinking fund for it. And whenever anybody says, so how much did that Greek vacation cost you? I tell them a coffee and a donut, coffee and a bagel,
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
that's the power of small changes that can allow you to do the big things in life.
yeah, yeah. It's like a couple of years before COVID. I think it was, I don't remember what the year was. Me and my wife always dreamt of taking a cruise. So finally, we saved up the money and we took the cruise from Boston to Bermuda.
And
And yeah, we had young twins with us at the time, so we ended up with a two-bedroom suite. And she had a girlfriend and her sister go on the same cruise. So we were with them. They got a regular cabin. We paid less than they did for a two-bedroom suite.
really?
We had the twins in one room and we had another bedroom off the other part of the cabin. And we had such a good time. And if you ever take a cruise and you get a suite, you get spoiled big time.
Yes. Yes.
Not only do you get an onboard concierge to make any reservations in the restaurants on the ship or reservations for shore excursions, you also
Yes.
get a butler service 24/7. You want
Really?
it, you want something? Just pick up the phone, push a couple of buttons, tell them what you want, and it gets brought to your cabin. Get spoiled. Got a cocktail party with the captain and the crew.
Wow.
Um, Enjoyed it so much. I wanted to help other people enjoy vacations. I started a travel business. Hooked up with an international host company. They gave me a website, back office, kept specials up to date on it. The only thing they didn't supply was customers.
Okay.
So back then I heard people putting ads on Facebook. I said, well, how difficult can it be? I fudged my way through, not knowing what I was doing. Put a couple of ads out, got a couple clients out of it, but nothing paid off. And then COVID hit. It's not the time to start a travel business.
Wasn't time to start most businesses.
And then right after COVID, I saw an ad on Facebook for a guy in San Diego had a marketing course. He was making it into a certification course. I said, well, if I'm going to do any kind of ads like that, I might as well learn from somebody who knows what they're doing. So I took his course. Right now, the guy's got almost 300,000 students in 75 countries around the world.
Impressive.
He was, when I took his course, he was doing marketing for 15 years with some large accounts like Procter& and Gamble,
Okay.
Orange Theory Fitness, Dave and Buster's, and a bunch of other large companies, large corporations. And I ended up flying out to San Diego for graduation.
Nice.
That was an experience.
San
My
Diego's a
flight
beautiful
out of,
city.
I was flying out of Boston. I was supposed to go to Chicago, change flights to go into San Diego. And my flight out of Boston was at 5:30 in the morning. And I had it all planned out. He had planned a graduation on a Friday. The last day of the course was on a Tuesday. I was flying out on Tuesday morning, the day after our anniversary, which my wife wasn't happy about, but hey, you don't want to fly. Not my fault. And I had it planned that I would get into San Diego half an hour before the class. I'd take a Uber and go into the class because he was doing them in the studio. If you're in the area, you could go in studio live for the class. So I was gonna take the last class live like that. And
Yeah.
of course, check out the studio. And I missed my flight out of Boston by 5 minutes. They booked me another one an hour later to Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, it was still probably going to be, it would have been close, but I get into Charlotte. I'm looking at the monitor. One cancellation, my connecting flight,
Are you
which was
serious?
which was directly to San Diego. So I think it was 4 hours. They got me another flight to Dallas, Fort Worth. I was there for 45 minutes. Then I got a flight to San Diego. I got into San Diego at 8:30 at night, their time. Boston time, there would have been 11:30 at night.
Yep.
I started at 5:30 in the morning. And yeah, if you've gone through airports, you don't eat much at the airports. Not if you don't, not if you want to have money. So we got to the airport. I got Uber to the hotel. Most everybody was staying at the Hard Rock Hotel, um, which he worked out a deal with the hotel. Good. I mean, you got, I think it was 246 people graduating from his course that were going, plus any family that came with them. The hotel gave him a good deal.
Yep.
And I was so I was so tired when I got to the hotel, I didn't want to go find a place to eat. I ate at the restaurant there. Well, I I eat seafood, but I can leave it. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
walked into the restaurant. I'm looking at the menu. Everything is fish. So much that they had a sushi bar there where they were making the sushi right there to buy. So I sat there. I love watching them guys make this stuff. I don't eat it, but I like watching them make it. It's a talent.
And this is midnight now. Oh no, 8:30. Sorry.
It was 8:30 at night. And I'm looking at the menu, one plate that's not fish, and that was chicken. I grew up on chicken. My father was chicken, 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 chicken. Me, it was pasta, pasta, pasta. So, um, chicken I eat, but I could leave it too. But I had no choice that night, so I ordered a little piece of chicken like this. Um, um, Asparagus, which I can leave, but when you're hungry, you eat anything.
Pretty
And
much.
then I don't know what it was. There was this little salad type of thing on the side. It was black and it was shredded and it was in a clear sauce. I don't know if it was like black cabbage or something like that. I don't know, but hey, when you're hungry, you eat anything. You don't care what it is. And then I ordered a cucumber salad on the side.
Okay.
I was not expecting to be able to see through the slices of cucumber. And I ordered a martini because I needed something.
Yeah.
I ordered a martini. They brought the glass over, it was half full. And then they gave me the bill. The food wasn't the heart attack, the bill was
Yep.
$75.
And I was thinking 50 and you 75?
It was the only time I stepped foot in that restaurant. Of course, the next day I'm out walking around because the Hard Rock Hotel in San Diego is on the edge of the tourist trap.
Yep.
The street beside the hotel, they close it at 8 o'clock in the morning and they don't open it up until 2 o'clock in the morning. It's closed because it's all pedestrians. Because that whole row for 3, 4 blocks is all shops and restaurants.
Yep.
That's where all the tourists are. So I'm out walking around. I found out right on the back side of the hotel is a spaghetti factory. They were open till 10 o'clock at night. 25 bucks for a
Yep.
big plate of pasta. A block down from that, the Breakfast Club. 25 bucks for a full breakfast. I mean full. Sausage, bacon, and ham, and everything else to go with it. 25 bucks. You know where I eat the rest of the week.
Wasn't in the hotel.
But yeah, that flight out there, that was an experience I don't want to go through again. That's a long day to be dealing with planes and airports.
Yep, it happens. I can relate. Been there, done that myself.
But anyway, oh, hey, I think we went over time. Yeah. Well, anyways, um, I know we kind of got off the track of finances, but if
But we
anybody's
didn't.
interested, how do they get a hold of you?
They can email me at wes@lighthousecapitalfinance.ca, or they can go to my website at lighthousecapitalfinance.ca, and we can have a conversation.
All right. Um, and if anybody out there wants to get a hold of me, my website's right up above me. Mill City Business Help. Business has one S at the end. Typographical error, but it's unique. You can find me on Alignable, which if you're a business, you should be on Alignable. If you're not, I don't know why you're not. There's about 10 million businesses across the US and Canada on Alignable. Um, you can reach me by email, millcitymarketingma@gmail.com. Um, and anything else? I think that about does it for me, folks. So I'm here every Friday, as they say, live at 5 Eastern. Um, this is live streamed on 4 platforms. If you want to see some of my previous podcasts, go to YouTube, type in Mill City Marketing MA, like and subscribe to my channel, and view my past podcasts. You'll find some interesting ones.